Good day, everyone. My name is MicheleDClark, and I want to welcome each and every one of you all to Tuesday Talks with Miss Clark, LMSW, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is absolutely a terrific Tuesday on purpose. Why? Because I said so, and you can too. So, like I said, my name is MicheleDClark, and welcome to the show. And for those of you all, if this is your first time, welcome. If you are a repeat supporter, then welcome back. I'm just so excited to get started today, you all. So, okay, let's first of all just get a little bit about me, just a little bit about me. And so, I'm from a small town called Harvey, right? So, and most people don't even know where that is. They have no idea where Harvey is. But the good news is you don't have to. It's near the south side of Chicago. And let me tell you all something. When I was growing up, people were just thugging and drugging and stealing and killing, doing all sorts of things around that time frame. But instead of being a dope dealer, I became a hope dealer with my company, Lift Nation, where I empower women to live inspired, free, and transform. And how I was able to do that is I got my bachelor's degree in psychology. I got my master's degree in social work, but I also got my PhD from the School of Hard Knocks because I'm telling you, God has definitely saved me from some life threatening things. And because of that, because of what I've been through, I can now proudly say that I am the Harriet Tubman of authenticity, being able to empower women to break the chains of stereotypes, shatter those glass ceilings, and shed the baggage of past traumas and tragedies in order to live more triumphantly. So, yes, let's go ahead and get started. So, let me give you guys a little format for today. So, we start out with introductions, and then I want to know about you as well. So, go ahead and put your name in the chat, who you are and where you're from, so that way I can give you a proper shout out if you so choose. It's not mandatory, but I would like for us to have a dialogue today. So if you are watching, whether this is now, and of course, if it's hashtag replay, I won't be able to dialogue with you, but I love to see your comments. So you can always put those in the chat if you're watching this on replay. So for those of you who are live in studio right now, then make sure you interact so that way we can have a really good, enriched, depth conversation. So, all right. So that's the part of it. The top part of it is we go through our introductions, and then we'll get into our topic. And towards the end, we will have something that's called, you ready? Rapid Fire AMA, where you get a chance to ask Miss Clark anything. Now, of course, when we say anything, keep it above level. I don't have to tell you all that. You guys are on the up and up. So come with your questions. And if you say, oh, I kind of want to ask it, but I don't know how, that's cool. You can always hit me up on any of the social medias. You can hit me up on the platforms. I'm MicheleDClark Lift. And of course, that's Michelle with one L, because you don't need two when one does the same. So you can hit me up on any social media platform, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, any of those, right? Hit me up there. And you can also reach me at ClarkMD at liftlifecoachingsolutions.com, right? Liftlifecoachingsolutions.com. So that's ClarkMD at liftlifecoachingsolutions.com. And you can send me an email there, and you can also send your questions there and converse with me that way. All right, you all. So let's talk about our topics. Oh, but we have to take a break for station identification because I always talk about staying hydrated, right? So we're going to take a quick break here so we can take a sip of water. Make sure that we stay hydrated. So usually I say at this point that when I take my sip of water, then pretend like you're listening to some elevator music. And I don't know, lately I've been on elevators and I haven't heard any elevator music, but they usually go like da 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 da. So that'll be the sound that you should hear when I'm done drinking. All right. You can also take a break as well. All right, let's go. Refreshing. All right. So today's topic, you all. Let's go ahead and get down with the get down. Because our format, we have 30 minutes, and now it's less than that. We're about 4 minutes in. So we have about 26 minutes, 25 minutes, some odd change. So the topic for today is vision. So we've been talking about vision. I had our Freedom at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which happens every Saturday. Although, quick flash here, you all, we won't be having it this Saturday. For the next 2 Saturdays, we'll be off. So if you're watching this live on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, we will not be convening. However, Tuesday Talks with Ms. Clark, LMSW, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, will continue to meet in between the holidays and directly after the holidays. So on Tuesdays, we will still be here live in action. So All right. But we had at our Freedom at One on the Saturday just passed, we were talking about vision. And initially, I had mapped out a schedule for us to do vision boards. But I decided to do something different because what I realize is that a lot of times, we make these vision boards. Now, how many people are guilty of making vision boards? And when I say guilty, it's not like it's a bad thing, but how many people have made vision boards? Yes, a lot of us have. A lot of us have. Now, how many of us have actually manifested any of those things that's on the vision boards? Sometimes I have, and sometimes I haven't. Now, I remember quite some while ago, I had made a vision board. Now, you'll know how long ago this is when I tell you. I had on the vision board that I wanted to, I believe I was already married at the time, but I know I had a house on there. I had a car on there. I had kids on there. And at the time, I was renting. And I think I've always had a vehicle. I've been blessed with that. Praise God. I've been blessed with that. However, it definitely wasn't anything that I would have like wanted to pay for, or wanted to drive and be proud about it, whatever. So I had those things. Hey, what's going on, Lima, in the house? Welcome, welcome. Where are you coming in from, Miss Lima? Let us know where you are coming in from so I can give you a proper shout out. So, but carrying on with the story. So I didn't have the kind of car that you write home about, right? It was just A to B. Definitely didn't have any kids, didn't have a house, any of those things. Well, not too long after that, I was married. So I don't remember if I had married on there or not, but I got married. I had, we bought a house and had kids. And now my son actually is going to be turning 18 tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. I know. I know. I probably had him when I was 2, right? Not. But that's just letting you know how long ago that was. So I made that vision board and everything on there that were the big items, I would say, that I manifested. Of course, when we talk about manifest, you put in the work. It's not a wish. And so, but saying that it's not a wish, what I found, you all, is that a lot of times when people do vision boards, they're actually not vision boards. They're wish boards. They wish on what they would want, but they don't have the work that goes behind it, or the belief, or the feelings. So let's break those things down. So we're going to talk about, so hold on one second. I want to put here in the chat so we can have this. So I know there's some folks who say, who take notes, and I want you guys to take notes of this. So let's put in there belief first. So we have belief, then we have emotions, and then we have work, right? So each of those things, and I'm going to highlight this. I want this to be highlighted. So belief, emotions, and work. So let's put these in the context of vision boards, in the context of vision altogether, and manifesting. Because what's the point of having a vision if we're not going to manifest that vision? What's the point? I just started reading, you all. I just started reading The Alchemy, or the Alchemist. Excuse me. I just started reading The Alchemist. Well, you can't hardly see it. Let's see. Go past. But I just started reading The Alchemist. I know it's just some virtual visual things, right? But I started reading The Alchemist, and he had a dream. So for those of you all, let me just start back a little bit. So everywhere I was looking, okay. So first of all, I was told to read The Alchemist. I bought this book years and years ago. So just let's take it back a few steps further. I bought this book years ago, you all, and it had been sitting on a shelf for quite some while. And I said, okay, I'm going to read it, and never got around to it. It was on a to-do list. Read some other things, audio a lot of stuff, never got around to it. And I didn't even audio this one. So I started hearing a lot about it. Then, meaning the word alchemy and the word alchemist, but alchemy in whole. And in the midst of that, so I interviewed someone who had alchemy in their name. I saw the book somewhere. I had a business coach tell me I need to start reading that I should read that. I went down in a neighboring town and I saw a store that was talking about something alchemy. And I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. Then my daughter came to me and my daughter was like, Mom, you won't believe this. Look at this. So she showed me a picture that one of her friends had taken. It was of something else, but in the background, you saw the book. It's hard to mistake because it's like orange and yellow. It was like, are you really serious? Okay, I said, oh, you know what? I'm going to stop, drop, and roll. I'm going to stop what I'm doing, and I'm going to read The Alchemist. So I started reading it. And my point being is that in the book, so I'm just at the beginning parts of it, and he starts on a journey. And he has this recurring dream. And so then he wants to know, what is that dream? So he goes to a place to get his dreams read, and he believes it was a gypsy. And uh, the short of the long is, she basically tells him something that he's like, oh man, I ain't have to come to you to figure that out. In my dreams, it says that if I go to Egypt and see the pyramids, then I'm going to come upon great riches. Who is that? That is, hey, 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 what is going on? My daughter is in the house. So you all may not know, but I have a surrogate daughter who is in the house right now. And so I'm so glad that you're able to tune in today. So thank you and welcome to the show. This is her first time tuning in, so thank you to the show. All right, so you all, peep this. She's like, hey, Ma. So I don't know how delayed this is when I see the comments. She's like, hey, Ma. so I'm reading this book. And it's so funny that my daughter tuned in right now, because I stated that I had interviewed someone who had alchemy in their name, and actually I met her through that person. Right? So look at this. This is like, we talk about manifesting, y'all. It is real. What we speak happens, y'all. What we speak happens. Okay, so he goes on his journey, and he finds the lady. She tells him about a dream. In the dream, he saw the pyramids. He's supposed to go to Egypt. He's going to get great riches. She says to him, well, you got to go there. And he's like, well, that's what the dream said. I want you to tell me more. Like, what's going to happen? She's like, I don't know. You got to go. So my point is, then he says in there that, well, okay, so if I don't go, then what? Well, you won't manifest the riches, and I won't get paid. Because she told him, I don't even want payment. I don't want you to pay me right now. I want you to give me 10%. I want you to give me 10% of whatever it is of your riches. And he's like, all right. And he swears to it. He says, yeah, I'll do it. He promises. So I got a little bit past there. But here's the point. My point I'm making is, I know I took all the way around the mulberry bush, but I really wanted you all to hear that, because it's so important that when we have visions, we have dreams, we have premonitions, we have ESP, which, extra sensory perception, any of these things that happen, desires, goals, dreams, when we have these things, it's not given to us for naught. See, we wouldn't be given the vision without already having the provision to make it manifest. It's already in here. But we gotta work towards it. So you see belief, emotions, and work. You see those things on the screen. So let's talk about belief and manifesting. Work our way backwards. So if we didn't believe, we wouldn't put in the work, and we wouldn't have the emotions. We have to start with belief first. So what is it that we say that we want? What are those things? So we have to believe. We have to believe. Now, we all have BS, belief systems. We all have belief systems, right? Every last one of us have belief systems. We have a groupings of thoughts, beliefs, schemas, things that are guiding us, our GPS system, if you will. Something that is guiding us, and what guides us is what's on the inside of us, what our beliefs and our thoughts are. And our beliefs are made up of ingrained thoughts that we have that are clustered, that come up with some sort of theme. And that's what allows things in or not. Those are schemas. So if we believe something, if we have schemas about a certain thing, let's just say that our belief is that we're smart, and somebody says to us, oh, you're so stupid. Are you really going to believe them? No, because your belief system says, Will Robinson, that does not compute. That does not compute. It says, no, I know that I'm smart, and you can't tell me otherwise. We blow it off. Now, what if they say, oh, you are smart, you're intelligent? And we say, yeah, that's me all day. Now, what if, because the pendulum swings both ways, y'all. Whether it's positive or negative belief systems, our belief systems is what we believe. So if we believe that we're not good enough, tall enough, short enough, thin enough, thick enough, whatever, we don't feel that we have this enoughness about ourselves, and somebody leans on that not enoughness, then we have a higher propensity to believe what they're saying, because it fits into the schema that we already have. So we don't believe that we're good enough. And then we have somebody say, oh, you want to do what? Well, you had what as a vision? You had what as a dream? Girl, bye. Ain't nobody in our family do that. You're not going to be that. You didn't even pass XYZ class, or you didn't even graduate, or you didn't even this, you didn't even that. And we start thinking, like, yeah, you're right. I probably won't. I shouldn't even do that. Or worse yet, We don't even have anybody outside of us telling us not to do it. We have that little man, that little woman on our shoulder, that little, how the angel and the devil on our shoulder. We have the devil on our shoulder that's telling us, no, you can't. You're not good enough. You're not this. You're not that. You're not that. We believe that, and then we don't try. We don't work towards it, because there really is no such thing as try, y'all. It's either you're going to do it or you're not. But that's what happens. That's what happens. We talk ourselves out of it because we don't believe. So we have to work on our belief systems, our BS. And one way to do that is to really use our visions. Visualization, use those visualizations. Really close your eyes, block out all of the other external stimuli. This is a way that we can really start to make it to manifest in our minds as a projector. So when we talk about projector screen and projectors, they were manufactured and made after our minds. Because what happens is we take in stimuli, it processes in our brains, and then it spits it out. So it looks like we're looking at it outside of us, but it's all in here. So close your eyes. That way you can manifest it with a dark screen, right? Inside of your mind first. Make it really clear. Like, get in on the details. Delve into the details. See that. And then you all. Now, here's the thing. This is where a lot of people stop. A lot of people will put in and say, okay, I believe this. I close my eyes. I visualize it. I pull up the pictures. And they stop there. And they wonder why it doesn't manifest. One, when we picture something, we want to make sure that what we're picturing, that we can see the incremental progress of it. So we want to look at the incremental progress of it. Let me tell you a quick story, and then I'm going to get into the emotions, because I know this time is ticking away, you guys. So when we talk about the incremental progress, I want to tell you a little story. So I'll tell you afterwards. So here's the deal. There's a frog. If you put a frog in boiling water, it's going to jump right out. We're talking about live frog. Now, if you put a frog in room temp, lukewarm water, he'll sit in there. And if you slowly turn up the temperature, he won't jump out. And unfortunately, he'll boil to death. Now, breakfast station identification. There were no actual frogs that were harmed during this demonstration conversation, right? But the moral of the story is, a lot of times when we put what we want on our vision board, we put something that is, and this is the okay part. It's okay to put something that is just crazy, just out extraordinary, that is like seems so impossible. And that's okay, because I'm possible, right? If you split the word up, I'm possible. That's okay. But here's where we fall short, you all. We fall short in trying to jump from where we are to this extraordinary goal without having intermediate things in the middle. So we want to make sure that so we can make that incremental progress. It's almost like the breadcrumbs to get to grandma's house, whoever's that was. And maybe that was Hansel and Gretel. I don't remember. Whatever the story was, there were breadcrumbs leading to the place. So they didn't just go from here to there. There were breadcrumbs. So we have to do the breadcrumbs, you all. We have to do the intermediate work. Sometimes that may mean getting help. I don't know. But sometimes it means getting help. So now, belief, vision, emotions. Let's turn over to emotions. When we're doing that intermediate work, we have to make sure that we are tempering our emotions. Not only tempering them, but also turning them up. So now, like, okay, that's like an oxymoron. How can you temper them and then turn them up? So there's a way to do that. When I say temper them, when we see things that come across our path, and now we're talking about see things that's in front of us that we can touch, touch, feel, taste, smell, all that kind of stuff, all our senses, that may contradict the vision that we have, the goal, the belief, the dream. We have to temper that and realize that it is just it's just something that's testing our vision. So, fun fact, when I'm driving on expressway, you guys, I know I do not, and sometimes on the roads, I don't always drive the speed limit. And I sometimes jokingly say, it's just an eye test. It's just a test on the side of the road to make sure I can still see. Not joke, but safety first, y'all. But think of the things that's contradictory to our beliefs, contradictory to our goals, contradictory to our dreams, to the things that we want to manifest, as just an eye test, an ear test, a this test, a that test, a test to see, first of all, do we really want what we say we want? And are we willing to do the things that we need to do in order to get it? And it also is a way to sharpen us, to shape us, to mold us. So that way, when we get there, we have the strength, we're ready. We're molded, we're ready to receive that thing that we said that we wanted. Because chances are, the mindset that we have right now is not going to be the mindset that we need in order to manifest and get that thing that we said that we wanted. So we got to put in the work. But before we do the work, let's get back to the emotions. So that's the tempering, dialing it down. Now let's talk about the dialing it up. Whenever we see something that corresponds with the dream, the goal, the thing that we said that we want, boy, I'm telling you, turn that up. Turn up the emotions. Get excited. I mean, stop and celebrate. How many times do we stop and have a pity party, or do we stop and beat ourselves up when we see things that are contradictory to the thing that we said that we wanted? Or we do something, we make decisions, and we act on those things that's contradictory to the thing that we said that we wanted. It's leading us in the opposite direction. We say we want to lose weight, but yet we can't get rid of the Nutella. Okay, guilty pleasure of mine. Right? Or eating something worse than Nutella. We say that we want to get our degree, whether it's a master's degree, bachelor's degree, PhD, whatever, but we haven't even enrolled in school. Or we say we want to be a life coach. Or we say we want to do this. We say we want to do that. But we're not making the decisions and following up with actions in order to go that direction. We beat ourselves up. It is time, you all. It is time to turn the tables, dial that down, because it's just a test. You can't have a testimony without test. The word testimony has test in it. So when we get to something that affirms, something that says yes to us, we need to say yes to ourselves and turn that up and get excited. Let me tell you all a quick story. So I was with a company, and with this company, there was levels and ranks, whatever you want to call it, and monetary gains attached to it, and a label, if you will. So as I am with this company, I want to hit this level, and I said I'm going to hit this level. Not just I want to, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to, I wrote it down, I made it a goal, and then I start using imagery, visualization, and putting the emotions with it. I put on my headphones. I closed my eyes. I went in. I was in the kitchen. So this happened 2 different occasions. If you've heard me tell the story before, you might have heard me tell this when I was in the bathroom. It doesn't matter what room you're in. You're in your skin. That's what matters, right? So, but I put on my headphones so that way I can give it all the stimuli that was auditory, and then I closed my eyes so I can give it all the stimuli that was visual. And I imagined myself in the stadium with everybody in there, family members, people I know and love, and some of my business partners, associates, and people I didn't even know. I visualized all these things. And then I saw myself on the Jumbotron, and I saw myself receiving the award. And I started getting excited. And I'm telling you, I really felt like I was there to the point where I actually started crying. I started crying. Not on the stage, on the stage. Because I literally teleported myself there. And let me tell you, I had the belief. I put the emotions with it, visualized it, and visualized it in my heart, visualized it in my mind. Then I put in the work. Because faith without works is what? I know somebody knows the answer. Yes, faith without works is dead. I put in the work and I manifested that dream. I was on that stage. I received my award. I got the level. And there were people in the crowd just as I had imagined. Not the same people who I imagined would be there. Some were, but it was just how I imagined it. It was so euphoric. And things like that have happened in my life because the power of manifestation, being able to believe, putting the emotions with it, and putting in the work. Because I'm telling you this, If you don't believe, you're not going to put in the work. Or if you start putting in the work, you're going to stop. It's going to be hard to continue without that belief. All right, you guys, I'm going to open this up. If you guys, first of all, you can go ahead and put your name in the chat. I see some more eyeballs looking. So if you want to put your name in the chat so you can get a proper shout out, put your name and where you're from. And right now we can go ahead and go into rapid fire AMA. Put your questions in the chat so I can answer them. Again, rapid fire AMA, that's Ask Ms. Clark anything, right? So ask me your burning questions. Go ahead and ask me. And if it's about the topic, even better, because I love questions that I've had once before. I said, do an AMA, and it was something that ain't had nothing to do with the price of tea in China. I mean, nothing to do with this conversation. So please make it about the conversation if you can. But if you do say, okay, I got to ask you this, and I know it's not on topic, but I want to answer, that's cool too. And if you want to reserve those, or if you're saying yourself, I don't really have any questions right now, feel free to email me, clarkmd@liftlifecoachingsolutions.com, and you can send me your questions there. You can send me your questions there. So let me unbold this and let me see if I can put Clark MD at Lift Life Coaching Solutions.com. I hope I spelled this correctly. Let me say here, because I don't have my glasses on. Y'all gonna have to, that's that over 40 life. That's that over 40 life, y'all. So let me see. Okay, here we go. Clark MD at liftlifecoachingsolutions.com. So make sure that you can send me your questions there if you so choose to. Alrighty. So, and thank you, Jemina. That's my daughter who is chiming in. So thank you for putting your name in the chat. And which I mean, I already knew who you were anyways. But for those of you who did not know, thank you for putting your name in the chat and everybody else and following instructions. See, that's what I'm talking about. That is an obedient daughter right there. So put your name and where you're from, or just your name or whatever in the chat. And of course, make sure to go ahead and ask your question. So she says, I love the fact that you brought up a perspective I need to hear. Oh, yay. Good. You know, I generally have a general idea of what we're going to talk about. I have an idea what we're going to talk about, but what happens in the course of the show, all I can say is that God knows what we need to hear, when we need to hear it, how we need to hear it. And it is up to us to take in the information and be able to then process and utilize it, just like the alchemist. So when we have something, we have a vision. We're given the provision to make it manifest. We just have to see the clues, the signs and numbers, the wonders. We have to see it. We have to see it in order to see it. We always talk about seeing is believing. No, believing is seeing, because we see what we want to see. That's the easiest way to put that. We see what we want to see. So, all right, questions in the chat if you have any. But the bottom line is, we got to put in the work. We got to put in the work, and we'll put in the work when we believe. If we don't believe something's going to happen, the work that we put in is only going to be transient at best. All right, I think, let's see, what do we have here? I wanted to ask, with the emotions, what is the healthiest way to handle it? Oh, where'd it go? Where'd the question go? The question, where did it go? There we go. Awesome. All right, cool beans. So it says, I want to ask, with the emotions, what is the healthiest way to handle it other than meditation when you don't have access to the sit down with self to do it? So when you say, so when you say the sit down with self to do it, you mean like a specified time and space? Because I know sometimes when we talk about meditation, that we do carve out a specific time period to do that. Let me tell you something. You can do the emotions right wherever you are with whatever amount of time that you have. I'm so serious. So I know on that day I talked about how I put on my headphones, closed my eyes. I was in the kitchen. I started, pretending like it was already happening, acting as if, right? Acting as if. You don't even, when we do this, no one outside has to even know that we're doing this. No one outside of us has to even know this is happening, because our mind is so powerful that we don't have to go through that extent in order for us to evoke emotions. Have you ever thought of something? This, and I tend to lean towards, I'll do it both ways. So the pendulum swings both ways. So let's talk about sad first, and then we'll go over to happy. Have you ever thought about something that was so sad? Recalled a memory. I know this time of year is tough for some people. Real talk. The anniversary of a loved one being lost, the first time or anniversary of them not being here anymore. I say that because COVID took away a lot of people, and a lot of people are having anniversaries or first times or this, that, and the third. You may think of something that was so sad. You might be in the middle of doing something else, and all of a sudden you get this, what we call negative automatic thoughts. Some people call it automatic negative thoughts, but you have this thought, it's automatic, pops in your mind. And you think about that thought and it brings you to tears. Conversely, you may have thought about something funny, a funny joke. I know I'm definitely guilty of this one. Think about something funny and I just start laughing. Sometimes out loud. Yes, I'm guilty of that. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, we have images that pop in our minds all the time. So we don't have to carve out any special time or place in order to do this exercise. So it's what I say is I keep fun in my back pocket. The reason I brought that up is because, and of course, figuratively speaking, is because yes, we can keep these strategies in our back pockets and pull them out at will whenever we want to. Now, when you ask about other methods, I want to actually talk about the tangible part of that. Now, you may not wear pockets, so you may not be able to actually put it in your pocket, but there is something that we always have, y'all. Phones. We always have our phones with us. So whatever it is that you want, whatever you desire, and I used to have this on my phone. I would either have it in words, but I suggest put it in pictures so that way you can help your brain to not have to make that extra step. Because even when we have words, like people put words in their vision boards, when we have words, it actually then transforms into pictures, images. So if I told you to close your eyes and think of a red ball, close your eyes and think of the McDonald Golden Arches, close your mind and think of a black car. Guess what? You're not going to see the words black car. You're not going to see McDonald's Golden Arches. You're not going to see the words red ball. You're going to see the image, right? So when we put it in pictures, we just help to shortcut that process. So I would suggest you to put it on your phone or put it somewhere that you see. Like if you every morning we brush our teeth, or at least we should, then put that image where you need to go use toothbrush, which is use the bathroom, right? And put that image there, whatever it is that you desire, whatever your goals are. And then when you practice, here's the thing, you know, when we practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. So if we practice that, we practice those emotions in the times that we are able to do it, we are able to carve that time out to meditate. And then we pair it with that, not that parrot, but pair it like, you know, thinking, I know some people like, Lord, Michelle, is she crazy? Yes, I am. And I love it. I don't, you know, call me anything, but don't call me average and ordinary. So here's it. When we pair them together, it creates a response that now, if anybody remembers Pavlov's dog, like how when he had the food, he rang the bell, the dog would see the food, he hear the bell, he salivate. Then it came to a point where he removed the food, just rang the bell, and the dog would salivate because he paired them together. The dog paired now the food with the bell, and whenever he heard the bell, he started to salivate. We can do that same thing. It's not just Pavlov's dog. We practice, it makes permanent. That's how we can create that emotion. We do it all the time subconsciously. We don't even realize that we pair things together. So that's just another strategy, another method. All right. Now, if you all would like more mind setting methods, first of all, continue to meet me here every Tuesday. So we're over time. So I'm going. Thank you so much, daughter. First of all, for that question, I really appreciate that question. It was awesome. So thanks so much for sending that question. Let's see. So you said I do dream boards or vision boards. Yes, vision boards. Yes. So at the top of the hour, we talked about at 8 o'clock. We talked about how I initially on Saturday when I had freedom at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that I was going to have a session on vision boards. But then I decided that I wanted to go in more depth about visions themselves and about how we can manifest them. Because a lot of times we don't make vision boards, we make wish boards. And wishes, unless you're in Disney, wishes generally don't come true. Or unless you're Make-A-Wish Foundation. But my thing is vision boards that we want to, oh, you're so welcome. Oh, you're so welcome. So we want to make sure that we manifest our visions, whether we put them on a board or not. So if you want more of this, There's a couple of different ways you can do that. One is, of course, you all know that I am the mindset management coach for professional women. So you can always, always, always hit me up. So we have 20-minute conversation exploration. And because you guys are who you are and you're watching today, we're doing it free, no charge. All you have to do is go to bit.ly/mindset with Michelle. And of course, that's Michele. That's one L in Michelle because you don't need two when one does the same. And you do need to do the upper and lowercase. The next time I start making some bit.lys, I'm going to just do all lowercase to make it easier on everybody. But you can go to bit.ly/mindset with Michelle and get a 20-minute conversation exploration with me. Now, during that time, we won't go into depth. It's only 20 minutes. What we're going to do is see if we can work together. That's all. We're going to see if we can work together and see if you choose me and I choose you, because we all have that choice. We have the choice. So everybody who wants to work with me, I don't work with them. And everybody who I may want to work with me, and I want to work with me. That's fine. But we're gonna establish that and make it plain, and then we will go from there. So all right. So mindset with Michelle. Additionally, on Saturdays, and if you're watching this hashtag replay, please know this obviously is pre-recorded or recorded previously because this is live. That on the 24th of December and the 31st of December, the eves of both of the major holidays, we will not be doing our Freedom at 1. So we'll be taking those days off. But you can always reach me on all social media platforms at MicheleDClark.lift. And again, that's Michelle with one L because you don't need two when one does the same. So, all right, you all, I love you all to life. Thank you so much for that rapid fire question. And if you have any more questions, again, you can hit me up at ClarkMD at LiftLifeCoachingSolutions.com or any of the social media platforms. I welcome you. Everyone, have a super sensational holiday season and continue to have a terrific Tuesday on purpose. Why? Because I said so, and you can too. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you all next week, Tuesday, for Tuesday Talks with Ms. Clark, LMSW, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you to life. Again, my name is MicheleDClark. I am the Mindset Management Coach for professional women with Lift Nation, where we empower women to live inspired, free, and transform. Take care, and God bless.